think, looking back, I had 4 days to write. And so by the time I wrote the third script, I felt like I had a clear vision of how to properly use the prop, the dialogue, and the location. And I think writing is probably the most important part of this, right? If you spend the time to do the writing, you write a really good story that works for your means, really makes something beautiful.
Lights on the set, the director's late. The cameraman sneezes, oh what a fate. The coffee spilled, the script's all wet. But darling, we ain't started shooting yet. Actors rehearsing with lines gone astray, improvising words like it's Broadway's play. The boom mic drops in a hilarious dive, but somehow the scene comes out alive. Oh, lights.
Hello and welcome to the Anecdotes podcast. I'm your host, Bob Krieger. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Instead of having a conversation here, I actually went to the premiere screening of the Abita Springs International Film Festival's 7 and 7 competition. The competition gave the filmmakers 7 days to write, shoot, edit, and turn in a completed 7-minute film. Each team was given a location on the North Shore that they had to include, a prop, in this case a pair of scissors, and finally the line of dialogue, "It takes two to tango." First up, we talked with writer, director, and editor Derek Bridges and actor John Watkins Jr. about their entry, Symbiotica.
Cooper, I know your contract indicates that you're to be provided personal assistance for both work and personal tasks. However, you've gone through 14 people in 1 year and 10 months. As previously discussed, it's been determined that you will be given a Johan, a symbiotic robotic synthetic android to serve as your personal assistant. Oh.
So we're going to be sitting here, or standing here while the popcorn's popping, having a little quick conversation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Please tell me your name.
I'm Derek Bridges.
John Watkins Jr.
Nice to meet y'all. Nice to meet y'all. So tell me, what's the name of the film y'all did tonight?
Symbiotica.
Symbiotica.
Yeah.
Very nice. What kind of story is that? Don't tell me the plot, but just tell me this.
Kind of sci-fi, near-future sci-fi-ish kind of vibe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. And you were the main, the star of the thing?
Yes.
Yes?
I was.
How much fun was it?
Very fun.
Very fun?
Very fun. It was very fun just to go ahead and just play around and toy with things, just to see what works, and just kind of just give myself the opportunity to kind of just stretch a little bit.
Oh,
the
I
comedy
love
muscle
it.
and things like that, and all sorts of things. Just play around, see what works, and see what doesn't. Yeah.
There you go. Well, this is for the 7 and 7,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And on my previous podcast, I talked with the Abita Springs folks, and we discussed the 7 and 7, 7 days to make a 7-minute film. Tell me a little bit about y'all's process.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, hit the mic there. Obviously, way better than the 48 in terms of like the stress levels of the whole thing. Although our shooting schedule was basically the 48, we just did a one day we shot. But
Was that the Saturday or?
Yeah, we just shot on Saturday. Yeah. But I wrote the script, so I had one, obviously I had a few days to work on the script, and that was nice instead of doing it all in one night. And then editing too, and stretching that over more than
Yes.
24
More than just
hours.
20 or 12 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people,
exactly. So I was able to sleep, and eat normal meals and all that, and I was mostly done by Monday. I just tweak around on it for a couple of days.
And that can be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the temptation is, I wish we could get this other shot or something. But we all have jobs and that sort of thing too, so we can't take it. Although I took a couple days off of work just to luxuriate in the process.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah.
I know for the 48, you're right. It's like you got 48 hours, but you have to concept, get ready to shoot, do it, and it's just so stressful.
Yeah.
This one, while it is a lot more time, 7 days is actually a good amount of time, and I think they set it up so that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday you can plan and write and do, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday you can edit and kind of get things done, and you have the whole weekend to shoot, which sounds great, but then some people might take that. And I see that happening where you take that time and it's like, oh yeah, I'll get to it. Next thing you know, you're watching cartoons, eating your Wheaties in front of the TV, and it's like, oh, it's Wednesday night. I got to get this done.
Right.
And it's kind of hard. So
I guess maybe us doing the shooting all in one day kind of helped alleviate that issue, perhaps.
Okay.
Knock it out.
Well, how many people did you have on the team?
Let's see. Trey DeArc, he stars in it as well. We did it at his home with his wife April. They live in Mandeville. Okay. So he and April were in it. Their daughter Charlie plays a small role. And then Kim Scogan, he's in it. And John, and me. I play a small role as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's first time for me doing that, so that was like...
It's your first time acting, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it'll be obvious, but we'll see.
And did you do the editing yourself?
Yeah, and I edited it as well. So
okay.
I directed, edited, most of the shooting. Trey did a little shot when I was in the scene. And yeah, so it was a very small technical team with me. Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. Was there anything interesting happen on set while you were doing this?
Anything you want to get into there, John?
Come on. Come on.
I just thought what was so fun for me was like for like every single take. I was just having so much fun trying to see if I can just try to do just something so much different between every single take. Because it's just after a while just trying to do like the same thing over and over again. It's like I gotta mix it up. But it was also about like I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, it's like someone's gonna be editing this. I want to give them like as much material as they can that they can use. They can find different things that they might say this one. They might say this take. I like this one. Let's keep this in the film, or this take. Let's just go ahead with this and that. So that was kind of like the fun thing for me, was like trying different things every single time just to see what works and what it kind of delivers. Because I was always just thinking, in the back of my mind, there's an audience that's looking at this, after this is all over and said and done. So,
Yeah, I appreciate you thinking of the editor on that. That was great. Yeah, it was helpful. It was helpful.
That's very important to think about because I edit, and if I have more than less to edit with, that's great. But sometimes too much, it's like, okay, what do I put? This is a great take. This is another great take. But he did it this way, and then he did it this way. It's like, okay, which one works better for the story? It makes it a little bit more difficult, but that's all right. Well, this is. So you're looking forward to the premiere screening tonight?
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's always fun to get out in the world and see your thing on a bigger screen and with people that haven't been involved with it, and get their reaction and all that.
Well, appreciate y'all coming in and talking with me here tonight, and good luck tonight as you're going around.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Derek.
All right.
We had an opportunity to talk with writer and director Michelle Chason, cinematographer and editor Matthew Spriggs, and actor and editor James Rivard, the folks behind the award-winning film The Closest Thing. This film won a number of awards for the competition, including Best Script, Best Editing, Best Cinematography, Best Actress, and Best Supporting Actor.
Tilly was light. The kind you hold in your hands and wonder how something so small could be so full of everything. And that laugh. She was so delicate. Only 6 pounds. I was scared to touch her. And then she looked at me with those giant eyes.
One little mango, it takes two to tango.
Eventually, I guess, I just became her mother. Or the closest thing she'd ever get to one.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
Matthew Spriggs, director of photography.
Michelle Chason, director, writer. The name of our film is The Closest Thing.
Closest Thing.
James Rivard, editor, sound, and sort of actor. And yeah, same film, The Closest Thing.
The Closest Thing. Yeah, well, I hope it's all the same film.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to do multiple films at once. Now, y'all had Covington, right?
Yeah, the Covington Trailhead.
Right? Yeah, I remember seeing y'all out there. Just happened to come across the y'all waiting for the light to go down and get it just right. So how was it shooting out there when you knew that, or you didn't know, that there was going to be a car show on Columbia?
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It was just getting there was a little problematic, but I think I took the wrong route. But there was we actually had to bring in extras to have people in the background. So it wasn't,
really? Okay.
there was no traffic.
Yeah, I think everyone was down by the car show, but we were a block away down at the trailhead, so it was pretty empty there.
And we got there kind of right before others were getting there, so we kind of locked down some spots.
Okay.
Before they got taken up.
Well, have y'all done the 7 and 7 before?
We did it last year.
You did it last year? What was your film last year?
Unsound.
Unsound, yes. I remember that one. That's good. That's it. Don't laugh. It's a good memory.
Some
It's
unforgettable moments.
I like that one. I like that one. That was interesting, what y'all did in Abita.
Unsettling, yes.
I did appreciate that. And you don't have to worry about being on camera, because I hate being on camera too, so it's all good. Oh my God, I'm famous. No, this is fine. So, did y'all have any? What'd y'all think about the time limit, the 7 days of being able to do this contest?
It'd be nicer to have more time for editing. Just with it's 7 days is better than like a 48. But also, if you have jobs and stuff, it's still your time is still.
Yep.
A little limited, so it's a little.
Yeah, especially in post-production.
We had an actor that we wanted to use who was out of town, so we could only get him for 1 day. So we tried to. We tried to get everything else in we had 3 shooting days. We tried to get everything else in the other 2 in our main day with him, but it still ends up being very chaotic. No matter how you plan, I think it's the nature of the beast with this.
So y'all actually had 3 shooting days. Yes. Friday.
Thursday,
Friday,
Sunday.
Well, Thursday evening.
Yeah, just
Friday evening.
Just nights on, Thursday and Friday.
And then some edit time on Saturday just to sync sound. And then Sunday was the huge day.
We rushed through with the writing process. We knew that our final scene is this long dialogue driven between our 2 main characters.
Right.
So I was still writing that as we were shooting the other stuff because we knew we had time to get that. So
So did you have? How'd y'all come up with the idea for this one? Because you have to wait for the prompts, you have to wait for your location and all this. Did you have some inkling of what y'all were going to do when you started?
I knew I wanted to write a drama, so to sell them on that. but yeah, I kind of had, based on characters, we were thinking about vague ideas of character dynamics, but then after we got our prompts, the 3 of us sat down and started brainstorming and coming up with the plot, and then
making it all fit.
Yep.
She's pretty brilliant at that.
Oh, thanks.
That's the hard part when you're talking about any kind of timed contest. You're trying to make everything work. You try to get that story, and then once you got the story, you got to stick
I
with
do
it.
a lot of timed writing contests, just throughout the year, just to make myself think in terms of short story contests, but they help you with this kind of thing also. It makes you, when you're limited to 500 words or 250 words to get down to what the story is. So I think that helps.
Okay. And when you were editing, I like talking to editors. I'm an editor too. How much time? You said you started, or it was said that you started editing on Saturday.
On Saturday we kind of just synced the sound mostly. Didn't really start cutting much until Monday.
You also did a scout too for the office the same day.
Yeah. But yeah, Monday was syncing the rest of the sound from Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were all pretty jam-packed. I mean, by the end of Tuesday, we were pretty much picture locked as much. I mean, we knew we had to be at that point, because then we had to move on to getting all the sound.
These 2 had to divide and conquer.
He also edited.
You do half, you do half, and then we all come together and
it kind of polishes as much as you can.
How does that work? I mean, it wasn't on the same system.
Second half. No, I was at my house doing the second half of the edit. And he was at his place doing the
everyone
first
lives
half
in different
of the movie.
places.
Yeah.
He lives on the South Shore. He lives in Slidell. I live
I'll
in
take this scene
Mandeville.
on.
Oh gosh. And how'd you combine them? I mean, I'm thinking about the technical aspect.
Gave me the project file, and then I
So you both used the
stitched it all
same
together.
the same software.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
2 different
But we
drives,
sat
same
together.
footage.
Also, it wasn't they just did it and then hoped, prayed it
No,
came
yeah,
together.
right.
No,
That's the hard- yeah,
no.
Yeah, we did many more passes
There was
after.
lots of communication during that process.
Yeah, I did a film once, a long time ago, where I had somebody who was gonna do a rough cut for me. I was like, great, and this is what I'm using. He's like, okay, got it. And then he gives me the rough cut, and it was edited with Sony Vegas. And I'm a Premiere user. And it's like, okay, I can't use this. So he's like, but that's all I've got. And So he rendered out what he edited and sent it to me. It's like, which didn't really help much.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks for
Appreciate
nothing.
it. Yeah. So you do have to coordinate all those things. Did y'all have any kind of issues while you were doing the shoot? Besides work getting in the way?
Just trying to coordinate stuff and like just the basic stuff, like figuring out our locations and having to make sets from scratch
and like working within the time constraint. Like we knew we had that Sunday was our last day to shoot, basically. So
that was a stressful
when we saw
one.
like
You start losing sleep.
yeah, we're like,
we had all our dramatic scenes that day, and some that required like makeup and prep, and they could only be shot like at dark. Like so we.
Gotcha. Oh. Well, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
What's the name again of your film?
The Closest Thing.
The Closest Thing. All right. Well, we're going to, from what I understand, we have 7 films to watch tonight.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to all of them. I have not seen any of them yet. So
Cool.
This is going to be great.
We had a great conversation with producer, writer, and director Matthew Carroll about his entry into the competition, Paper Cranes.
Well, tell me about your film. What's the name of your film?
So it's called Paper Cranes.
Paper Cranes?
So it has to do with sex trafficking.
Ooh. It's a
Yeah.
deep topic for
Yeah.
a short film.
So I wanted to do something impactful. Last year I did a Western.
Okay.
So this year I said, you know what? I want to do something a little more gritty. I wanted to do something, I wanted real close, tight close-ups, extreme close-ups on a lot of stuff, because I had this original plan in mind. It was going to be sex trafficking, but it was going to be Southeastern Asian slavery. And it was going to be in like 1767 is when I had it set. And then I went to some different places in New Orleans and I said, hey, these are great, wonderful, this is a museum. Is there any way we can use this? They said $10,000 for 12 hours. I said, no, thank you. Have a good day.
For a short film, sure.
Yeah.
You can do that, yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, you realize it's for 7 and 7. Like 7 days, I have 7 to shoot 7 minutes. I said,
That's right.
I said, I'm not doing like a big production. And the lady was like, I'm sorry, that's what we charge. I said, well, it looks like this is going to be modernized. And so that's what I did. I went in and I modernized everything and I made it about sex trafficking nowadays.
Okay. That sounds, it's going to be different than what I normally expect for a time competition, for these short film competitions. Well, that's great. I remember your film last year.
Okay.
The Western. And
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
Actually, I enjoyed it a lot. I loved picking out Abita. In the different sections that were there, and how you actually, like, this one scene just jumped out at me. They're supposed to be on the Western Street, and there's one of the girls on the balcony who's on the pavilion, looking down, and just the way I know that's the pavilion, but the way you did it, it's like, I'm back in the 1800s. It was awesome.
I tried, and I wanted to recreate that. Like I wanted it to be 1767, but I couldn't figure it out. But it's all good because I really think you're going to like what we brought to the table.
Okay, well, this is what I wanted. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of these films yet.
Yeah.
This is all going to be new to me. I didn't preview them with the festival, so this is good. I wasn't part of the judging or anything like that, but I just wanted to. I like waiting for the premiere to see these things. It's always fun to kind of get them in there.
So it's interesting, right? I was so close to it because I basically put the edit together, right? So I edited it myself. And so I'm putting the edit together, and I watched it over and over and over, and I'm like, I was getting, I guess, numb to the situation.
Right.
And so I didn't realize the impact because I was just like, oh, it's done now. And I sent it off to a friend of mine, and they watched it, and they called me back crying. And I was like,
really?
Oh. Okay, I didn't think it was that impactful. They said I didn't see the incoming. I said, oh, okay. And so, but yeah, so they cried. I've had 2 people tell me they've cried.
Well, that's actually a good response.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
I remember a film friends of mine did, you know, and they liked it. It was a drama. They put a lot into it. And when it was screened, you know, a number of the people in the audience, you know, had tears in their eyes and bawling, and it was like, he got upset. Like, oh my God, they're like, no, that's a good reaction. That's the kind of reaction you want out of it. And if you're able to elicit that with a short film, then you've done your job.
At least 2 people. I don't know if everybody here, they'll probably be like, it's fine.
But you edited yourself?
Yeah, so I had an editor.
Yeah.
So we had issues. He was trying to edit on Premiere Pro, and then he was trying to edit on Final Cut. And we were going back and forth, and I had DaVinci Resolve, and I was trying to get him to file I drove to Baton Rouge and got the thing and drove back. I gave it to him one night, middle of the night at like 11 a.m. I'm handing him off something in a parking lot. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. But eventually, I started editing it because he was like, hey, can you just string it out for me and put the storyline together, and then we can see where it goes. And I said, yeah. So I did, and I basically had it edited, and he was like, now send it to me. So I sent it to him. He's like, I can't open it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So then I was like, okay, I'll start color correcting it. So I started color correcting it. He was like, I think I got it uploaded in this, and he worked all night long. And I mean, like I said, he was a trooper. He really tried. And he calls me. He had to go to work at 7:30 in the morning. He was like, hey, man, this is the best I got. And he shoots it to me. And I looked at it, and I was like, So then what I did is I took what he did, and I added what I did, and I kind of mixed the two, and then went back and fixed the sound, and then went back and fixed the edit a little bit. And it was like, cut some things here, cut some things there, color correct a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
That's something that I think should have been organized or talked about ahead of time. What system are y'all editing on? Because that makes them, I mean, you can do the different systems, but they don't talk to each other.
I didn't know he didn't have Resolve. Okay. I didn't know he didn't have DaVinci Resolve. And so
it's a free download.
Yeah,
you can do that.
Well, he did finally, and then it was a lot going on.
Right.
But we couldn't find a DP because everybody had teams. We couldn't find a camera person. So when I'm off camera, I'm behind the camera.
All right.
And then we joint DP'd it.
Wow. Okay.
Just wait till you see it.
This is one of those
films.
It
is a feat.
Like,
for
it's
sure.
one of those things, the contest, where you have to have multiple hats on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can't just sit back in the director's chair and say action.
I don't ever do that. Yeah. I move lights. I move sounds. I did the set design. I designed the sets. I was bringing in clothes and things and looking at people and
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. When you said one-man band, I was like, yeah, I understand.
Okay. Well, I hear that you're also going to be working. You're trying to work on a Louisiana Film Prize.
Yes.
Idea.
Yes. So I wrote a superhero film. So I started writing it 1 p.m. on Friday. Yeah, Friday, and I finished it at 4:30. And so it's ready to go. It's kind of Watchmen meets Memento.
Okay.
So it's got like a really grittiness to it. Instead of having the person in the hospital room in the beginning, I think I'm gonna put them in a bath of ice water. So they wake up in a bath of ice water, and you're like, what is going on? And so that's how it's gonna start.
That's gonna start.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, it looks like either we have electrical issues or they're getting ready to screen.
Right.
So we're gonna go ahead and hold off right here. Thank you, Matt.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk
absolutely.
a little bit later after
Sounds
the screening. And
Sounds
good luck tonight.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
There were a total of 7 entries in the competition, and it was very difficult to decide the winners. Other entries included Collectors, a film created by first-time filmmakers.
Hey, heard you've gone through some stuff. You want to talk about it? It's been nearly a week. They dropped the court case because they can't find EJ, and they won't even put resources into looking. That sucks. Look, I'm fixing to go look for him myself. Look, you want to come with me to Abita? Meet me there? Yeah, that sounds fine.
Cut Loose, a film with a bit of an alien twist. And The Slidell Scissor Slayer, a crazy romp into murder and mayhem.
You like scissoring?
Excuse me?
You seem like you enjoy scissoring. I'm a big fan myself. May I?
What?
The Film Fest did have some help with judging, though, with their special guest judge, actor Christian Stokes.
All right. Well, Christian, thank you for joining me today on
Absolutely.
this. It looks like you had a tough time judging some of these films.
That was a really hard time. There were so many good performances, so many good films, good directing, good use of the lines, good use of the props. It was a hard one, sure.
Well, I didn't know what the line was until I heard it the second time, and it felt like, oh, that's what it is. Okay.
That's right.
And it was like, okay, I like the way they use the lines. And,
Absolutely.
And it was very creative. Some of the ways the prop was actually used in this.
Indeed, I like some of them. Some of them actually set their entire production around the prop usage.
Around the
I
prop.
like that.
Yeah, there was the one where the Symbiotica. That's it. The girl playing the piano. There was a big scissors right on top of the piano.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, seriously,
Yes.
Okay, let's just go ahead and find this and place this here.
Instead of where's Waldo, it's
where's the scissors?
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, it's difficult trying to find something as good, and the fact that all these films were made in just a week.
Absolutely. I mean, it's literally, you're putting yourself through the tempest of filmmaking and creating a 7-minute film in a week. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's the dedication that these guys show to get their product out there, to get their show out there. It's great.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming out and judging
my
this.
Pleasure.
That's
My
awesome.
pleasure.
Now tell me, right now you're out at the mortuary.
Yes.
Doing something a little different. Why
It's
don't
a
you tell
little
us a little bit
different.
about
It's a little
that?
different. We've all been to cocktail events where there's like a theme story and you'll have a drink. I felt like I could take that a step further.
Okay.
And so I've built 4 sets around 4 short stories, special effects, lighting, sound, the whole 9 yards, built up around each short story.
Okay.
In between the short stories, you get your cocktail, and you get to sit down and hear local folklore in New Orleans, such as the Vampires of the French Quarter, the Rougarou, Marie Laveau, and of course the Axeman. So those are the 4 stories, and once you're done going through that, and I call it spooky light. It's not as hardcore as our haunted house,
right?
But it's very spooky, and when you get out, you're welcomed into a lounge with a variety show going on. It's a very 1930s speakeasy look. It's if the Addams Family had a bar in their backyard, that's what it would be.
That's what it would be. Well, I like the fact that the mortuary, people think about the mortuary only as, the around Halloween,
Sure.
the haunted house.
Sure.
And it's a great venue, but it's like, what do you do?
Absolutely.
I'm glad this is something happening during the summer.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that we want to wear a couple of different hats, and we've got the ability to do so. So we decided to do more inclusive stuff. We may be doing murder mysteries in the near future. We may be having themed parties in the near future. I mean, we just want to do something more.
I like that. I like that a lot. So what else do you have in the future coming up for you?
I just had an episode of Will Trent come out a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
I am possibly I'm waiting to hear news about a film that I may be filming next week in New York. So
oh really?
Excellent.
Excellent.
It's a comedy. It's a little comedy film shot up in the Catskills, and that's all I can talk about right now. But we're still waiting to hear the news. So that's you know how it is. As an actor,
I know how it is. You're always waiting. Yep.
So
I remember seeing you in 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
My grandson, because I'm old, my grandson was like, "You got to watch this movie." I'm like, "Okay, all right." I mean, it's like it's not my favorite genre. It's like, all right, let's watch it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The problem is, I'm sitting there, but I know where that is. I know him.
Sure,
I've seen this
absolutely.
person before.
Listen, my ex-girlfriend, and this is probably the reason she's my ex, every time I move there, there's my buddy did that. Oh, that's what did that. And she's just looking at me like, I would like to enjoy the film now. So that's probably why she's my ex.
Well, I've been married for a long time. My wife's in there, and we were talking, whispering to each other, watching the screenings, like trying to figure, okay, now where was this done?
Right.
Let's see where this was. We know about this place.
Right.
And it's always fun to try to figure that
I
out.
thought it was very interesting how they used the locations.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them were very predominant in the production, and I think it's very creative. I love. It's filmmaking improvisation.
Exactly.
Is what it is.
Exactly.
And as a big fan of improvisation, I love watching people work on their feet. It's great.
Well, last year, the winner of the 7 and 7 was a Western.
Nice.
And it was really nicely done, and they had to use Abita, the Abita Pavilion, the area. And I'm thinking, okay, how are you going to make a Western in Abita that doesn't look, they've got cars,
Right.
they got lights and all this. But they used the top part of the pavilion as like the balcony of a whorehouse or a bar or whatever you want.
Yeah.
At the saloon at the time, and one of the girls was out there yelling at the people down below, and it was just the angle of the camera and the light, and because it was at night and everything, it just worked out beautifully.
Creativity.
And I do love that when they do use that the different locations. It looks like they're getting ready.
Oh,
to
they're
announce
getting ready to
this is
pull us
going to
back
be
in.
about you. That's
Yeah,
right.
I see that.
So we're going to go ahead and kind of hold it off right here. But I do appreciate you. I may
My
want to have you
pleasure.
come in for a nice longer chat.
Yeah,
on
for
the
sure.
on the podcast. We shoot
sure.
Abita, so you got to come back.
Let me
across
know.
the
I'm
lake.
in New Orleans. I'd be more than happy.
Life is great. Well, thank you, Christian.
Hey, thanks.
I appreciate it.
For having us.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
you, buddy.
Finally, I had the opportunity to talk with Frank Kayazi, the writer and director of the film Reunion. This film garnered a host of awards, including Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and most importantly, Best Film.
Hi, you.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm okay. Good.
You good?
I miss you.
I miss you too. I wish you were here.
You're always in my heart.
And you in mine. Love you.
I love you.
New dress, huh? Special occasion?
Well, you did the film Reunion, and the winner of the 7 and 7.
Yeah, I mean, it was like there were so many good films tonight. I didn't expect to win. I know people say that, but like I really didn't expect. I had my Diet Coke in my hand, not expecting to get up again, and mind blown. Yeah, I mean, just wow.
Well, let me tell you, it's like some of the films, when they first start a contest or any kind of competition, filmmaking competition, the level of films are okay. They're not great. But this is the third year, we're beginning the third year doing this, and I promise you, like it seems like the films that have been shown here, the films that have been produced for this contest, have been mind-blowing, have been fantastic. The effort, the amount of effort that's gone into it.
Yeah.
Your film was very. When I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, it was very well done. I'm like, okay, where's this story going? What's this girl going to do? And then it just went to a whole nother level. Even though most of it is just sitting there on the floor of the Abita Pavilion and doing whatever. But it was one of those things. It's like the story just took me away. Well, how'd you come up with that story?
Well, it was actually the third script that I wrote in the 7 days. I had two
really?
other stories actually that didn't work out because of logistics with crew and actors.
Okay.
So this third one, I wrote it with Kelly in mind because she actually does tarot card reading and she does writing in the French Quarter. Close friend of mine. And I was also reading books about people that would channel with the dead.
Okay.
And it just happened to be a happy miracle that Kelly was going to be interested in doing this. And I was going to play the main actor myself. Funny story. But my camera guy had a conflict, couldn't do it. So I actually had to fire myself as an actor and cast somebody to take my spot. I got really lucky with Selassie, who
he was fantastic.
phenomenal. And we're repped by the same agency, so I was able to get a hold of him, and we're friends. And he had a busy schedule. He made some time and loved the script, and we just knocked it out in a day and a half. And
it was a day and a half to shoot. Wow. Okay, and that was what, Saturday, and
we
was it
shot
Sunday,
on
or-
Monday, and then did
On
pickups on
Monday?
Tuesday.
Okay. the whole idea behind the 7 and 7 is to give you time.
I know.
Like you push to the last minute.
I think, looking back, I had 4 days to write. And so by the time I wrote the third script, I felt like I had a clear vision of how to properly use the prop, the dialogue, and the location. And I think writing is probably the most important part of this, right? If you spend the time to do the writing, you write a really good story that works for your means, really makes something beautiful.
It was a great story, and for a short film, a lot of times I see the talent that is on camera. Most people think short film, well, I don't really need to get the top end talent.
Yeah.
But your actors just blew me away because I just felt the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
And you even explained the Bronco, which isn't quite a police vehicle. And it was like, drug dealers, like, okay, cool, done.
Yeah.
I could throw it. Because the first thing I saw that is like, okay, who's this creepy guy coming, stopping a girl along the side of the street? What's the big deal?
It's a cop.
It's a cop. But I get it now. And I like the way that kind of thing is explained away for expedience because that's the vehicle you had, right?
That's my car. Yeah, I didn't have a cop, Crown Vic or anything. I wish I did. That'd be an awesome prop.
That would have been awesome prop, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about driving around the city in that, but it's like...
It was also Kelly's first time acting in a film. So
really?
Selassie has a lot of experience in film in the New Orleans area. Kelly, though, she's new to acting. And so I actually do love working with non-actors a lot because there is a level of not overthinking things.
Yes.
And mixing a seasoned actor with a more non-seasoned, it was a perfect combination. Mm-hmm. And she did a great job.
Oh,
she's going to hopefully do more films.
And the way you worked in the line of dialogue, it takes two to tango, and her dog's tango and all. Yes, that was genius because it felt, again, real.
Right.
And I think when you're watching these things, you want to have a bit of reality in there. You want to be able to take that audience and suck them in. I think you did a great job on
Thank
that.
you.
Now, have you directed? I mean, you've directed films before.
This is my third short film in the narrative realm. I do mostly documentary work.
Okay.
So I'm used to working with small or just by myself, and that sort of helped doing this project because it was me on the DJI Ronin 4D and sound guy, and then our actors. We didn't have anybody else.
The DJI Ronin 4D. I love it.
It's a monster of a camera.
It looks like it is, and I just gimbal and camera and all that built into one, and it's just a wonderful piece of gear to have.
It really is.
Have access to it.
Because
that helps again bring it in for setups, especially for a short film.
Oh yeah.
The quickness and going around, moving, go.
I can reframe. I can move, tilt with just my fingers, and also I had the focus motor with the anamorphic lenses, so I didn't have to have a first AC for this. I basically was able to do everything with my hands in the camera.
I love it. So what can we expect from you in the future?
Yeah, so I'm writing a feature film that I want to shoot later this year. I want to clean up Reunion and get it ready for the festival
market.
And that's pretty much it. I'm always writing. I love writing. I'm always fleshing out new ideas and stories. And I really want to collaborate with more filmmakers in the New Orleans, in the Louisiana state, just because I love my camera. I own the DJI Ronin 4D, and I want to give back to the community. So I'm probably going to be doing some volunteer DP projects just to get people to help people make stuff.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, I did have one other question about the 7 and 7. What made you want to do this? Because I got some different answers.
I don't like competitions. Because I never win anything. And I guess I got lucky this time. I just picked up the new camera system and I wanted to test it out. And I felt like this forced me to push it to its limits in a short amount of time. No excuses, make something. And I got so many great ideas from the pressure that I wouldn't have gotten if I didn't sign up for the 7 and 7.
Wow, okay, that's a good answer. I like that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, like I've participated in the 48 hour and other competitions, short film competitions, and a lot of it is like, okay, you got to win. It's like, no, I don't go to win. I go to try and see. I usually work with a bunch of younger actors, kids, and it's like, not supposed to work with kids. I work with animals. Not supposed to work with them. But it's like, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we come up with. Let's have fun. And they're learning.
I'm always learning something, and that's really a great way to go.
And the camaraderie you build with your team, it's just such a strong bond.
Right. Yeah, the win is great, but if you don't win, fine.
Yeah.
It's like, it's...
At the end of the day, you had fun, you made something. Everybody here made something, and that's such a hard thing to do nowadays.
It is, and it's like, force yourself, get out there, and just do it. It may not be the best thing, but next time it may be a little bit better. Next time, and just keep the next times coming.
Keep them coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you talking with
Thank
me.
you
This
so
has
much.
been fantastic.
Yeah.
And congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
That's right. Short film reunion. Take a look at it at the Abita Springs International Film Festival. It's a long thing to say, but coming in January. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining me on this special episode of the Anecdotes podcast. Stay tuned next week and see what's coming up. And as always, I appreciate y'all.
Thanks to our sponsors, La Film Studios and the Abita Springs International Film Festival. If you want to sponsor the Anecdotes video podcast or be a guest, please email us at anecdotes@lafilm.net. Anecdotes is recorded in the 36 and 59 studio in beautiful Abita Springs, Louisiana.